Ethan Ramirez, a 38-year-old entrepreneur, lived a seemingly perfect life in Seattle. With his wife Isabella, a 34-year-old marketing executive, and their two children, they were the picture of happiness. Friends admired their successful careers, close-knit family, and unshakable bond, often calling them the couple everyone aspired to be. But beneath the surface, not everything was as it seemed. Over the past 6 months, subtle changes in Isabella's behavior began to unsettle Ethan. She became distant, her attention often drawn to her phone, smiling at messages she never shared. Late-night work meetings, events, and impromptu girls' nights out became a regular occurrence. Ethan brushed off his growing unease, convincing himself it was simply the stress of work and parenting. But the secrecy surrounding her phone and the increasing time she spent away began to gnaw at him. One evening, Isabella came home with exciting news. Her boss, Luke, a charismatic and confident tech CEO, had invited them both to an exclusive networking event at his luxurious penthouse. Ethan couldn't deny feeling uneasy about Luke. There was something about the way he interacted with Isabella that had always felt off. But Ethan, wanting to support his wife, set his doubts aside and agreed to attend. The night of the event arrived, and Luke's penthouse was nothing short of spectacular. Floor-to-ceiling windows showcased the city skyline, while well-dressed professionals mingled over champagne and soft jazz played in the background. Isabella looked stunning in an elegant black dress, her radiant smile lighting up the room as she effortlessly worked the crowd. Ethan felt both proud and uneasy. Throughout the evening, Ethan kept a close eye on her interactions with Luke. While nothing appeared outwardly inappropriate, there was an undeniable familiarity between them that left him unsettled. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Isabella leaned in and whispered, "I'm going to catch up with an old friend in a quieter area. I'll be back soon." Ethan nodded, trying to shake the unease creeping up inside him. As minutes turned into half an hour, he couldn't ignore the gnawing suspicion any longer. Quietly excusing himself, he decided to look for her. As Ethan wandered through the penthouse, he reached a secluded garden area. The soft glow of the garden lights illuminated the space, but it wasn't the tranquil setting that caught his attention. It was the voices. Hiding just out of sight, Ethan overheard Luke speaking to another man, his tone cocky and self-assured. "She's incredible," Luke said, laughing. "Isabella can slip out of her husband's arms and into mine like it's nothing. Last weekend at the waterfront hotel was insane. You wouldn't believe it." Ethan, however, found solace in his resilience, knowing he had taken control of his life and moved forward stronger than ever. Sometimes the hardest truths lead to the most profound transformations. Ethan rebuilt his life, proving that even after betrayal, peace and happiness are possible. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. His heart pounded as Luke continued, bragging about secret meetings, late-night phone calls, and their ongoing affair. The casual confidence in Luke's voice made it even harder to bear. Ethan stood frozen, his world unraveling with each word. But he didn't act impulsively. Instead, he quietly slipped away, determined to gather irrefutable proof before confronting Isabella. He knew this betrayal would require more than just accusations. It needed undeniable evidence. Over the next 2 weeks, Ethan transformed his heartbreak into focus. He tracked Isabella's phone, hacked into her email, and even hired a private investigator. Piece by piece, he uncovered the full extent of her betrayal. Texts, photos of secret hotel meetings, and call logs confirming what Luke had boasted about. The truth was undeniable. The woman he trusted above all else had shattered their life together. But Ethan didn't just want answers. He wanted closure. And he knew exactly how to get it. A month later, Luke hosted another grand event, this time even bigger than the last. High-profile guests filled the luxurious penthouse, sipping drinks and exchanging pleasantries. Ethan arrived with Isabella, playing the role of the devoted husband. She was completely unaware of what was about to unfold. Halfway through the evening, Ethan excused himself, stepping up to the microphone in the center of the room. The chatter quieted as all eyes turned to him. "I'd like to make a toast," Ethan began, his voice calm but firm. "To my wife, Isabella. For 10 years we've built a life together, a family, memories, and a marriage I thought was built on trust." The crowd listened intently, sensing the weight in his words. Isabella stood frozen, her smile faltering, as she realized something was wrong. "But," Ethan continued, "sometimes life has a way of revealing the truth. Truths you never saw coming." With that, he pressed a button on his phone. The projector behind him lit up, displaying screenshots of Isabella's texts with Luke, photos of their secret meetings, and even audio recordings of their late-night conversations. Gasps rippled through the room as the evidence played out before the stunned crowd. Isabella stood frozen in shock, her face pale as whispers filled the room. Luke attempted to quietly leave, but the damage was already done. The betrayal, laid bare for everyone to see, could not be undone. In the days that followed, Ethan filed for divorce, secured full custody of his children, and watched as Luke's reputation crumbled under the weight of the scandal. Isabella lost everything: her marriage, her standing in the community, and the trust of everyone around her.